What's up, guys? It's David with How to Beast. In this video I want to talk about 5 insecure behaviors that confident guys don't do. So we all have insecurities, everyone, myself included. Even the most confident person that you see at the bar, in class, wherever it might be, even the most confident person you know is insecure about something. But we all manage our insecurities in different ways. What I'm going to go over in this video is 5 common behaviors that guys exhibit, 5 common habits guys have that really allow them to indulge in these insecurities. So rather than, trying to get past these insecurities and build confidence, they sort of indulge in them, and it's only going to make them more insecure by doing that. So without further ado, the 5 behaviors are, number 1 is complaining. When you complain, you're essentially rejecting whatever the current reality is. So maybe I just broke my ankle. If I sit there and complain about it, it sucks that I broke my ankle. I'm not going to be able to go to the gym. I'm not going to be able to practice the martial arts that I practice. I'm not even going to be able to, train my personal training clients because I might be stuck in bed for a few weeks. By dwelling on the negative and complaining, not only am I training my mind to focus on the negative rather than focusing on the things that I can actually do, but I'm also going to turn off any other person that's around me. So if I'm hanging out with a buddy and all I can talk about is my fucking ankle, or I'm talking to a girl I just met and all I can talk about is my ankle, they're just going to associate you as a negative person, and they're not going to like spending time with you. So the internal effect is negative. It sort of stops you from moving forward and taking control of your life and doing what you actually can do. And the external effect is that it's going to turn off people that you talk to, because face it, when either someone complains to you, it sucks. It's not cool, it's not interesting, and it's not going to make you like them anymore. All right, number 2 is explaining yourself. So when you say something that's not met with like immediate praise, maybe it's you make a suggestion with your friends, oh, let's go to this restaurant. Maybe it's you're telling a girl about yourself, oh, I do this as a job. It doesn't really matter what it is, but when you say something that someone questions you, or like I said, it's not met with immediate praise, and your default response is to start explaining yourself and say, well, it's a really cool job because X, Y, and Z, or I really think we need to go to this restaurant because I love their burgers, or whatever it might be. When you're explaining yourself, basically it just comes off as insecure and weak, because it's like you're not confident enough in the suggestion that you made, so now you have to defend yourself and prove yourself to the person you're talking to. And I think that kind of goes without explaining. That's just an insecure behavior, and you're doing it out of insecurity. All right, number 3 is apologizing. And this excludes apologizing for legitimate reasons. So if you fucking punch someone in the face and you rock them in the face and you break their nose for something that they didn't even do, well, yeah, then apology is going to be warranted. But guys these days apologize for everything. They apologize instead of saying excuse me when they bump into someone on the sidewalk. They apologize when they say something that's not met with immediate praise. Maybe instead of explaining themselves, they apologize. They basically just shower people with apologies, and A, it makes you look weak, and B, it's like you're just seeking permission from everyone, seeking approval from everyone. Again, it's just another insecure behavior, and as you do it, it's going to sort of ingrain the same mindset of weakness, and that you need everyone else's approval to be a confident, a complete person, and it's just bullshit. All right, number 4 is making excuses. So this is essentially just not being able to take responsibility for something. So maybe you're not doing as good as you'd like to do with women, So you start making excuses, and maybe it's an excuse of why you're not going to approach a girl. Oh, maybe she has a boyfriend. Oh, the time's not right. I don't feel like doing it right now. I'm not feeling really confident. Maybe it's in your career. You haven't quit your job yet, and you haven't really moved on to do the job that you want to do, and you're making excuses for that. Oh, I'm not ready for it yet. I'm not experienced yet. Whatever the excuses you're making, whether it's for something that you want to do that you haven't done yet, or whether it's for something that you did wrong, it's basically just bullshit. It's just you giving yourself reasons not to do what you really want to do, rather than manning up, taking responsibility for your own actions, your own failures, and your own successes, and moving forward with life. All right, the 5th and final one is bragging. So bragging is probably the quickest way to turn someone off. If you met someone new and you go around bragging, they're immediately not gonna take and hear what you're saying, and build this really respectable image of you in their head and be like, oh, this guy's awesome because he just told me how awesome he was. People don't do that. The book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie is probably like the most renowned self-improvement book in the world. It's all built around the principle that the way to make yourself seem interesting to other people is to take an active interest in them. And bragging is essentially doing the very opposite of this. Instead of taking interest in other people, it's just taking the time, instead of taking interest in them, and you're just telling them all about yourself. people don't care about you, you know? But if you do take an interest in other people, and you do take the time to question them and question what their interests and their motivations are, you'll quickly see that they're going to pay you back with that, and they're actually going to ask you about yourself, so you don't really need to brag. That'll take care of it for yourself. So that was 5 insecure behaviors, really common to guys. On one hand, they build a sort of an internal weakness because you indulge in things that you're insecure in. You indulge in your validation-seeking behaviors. You stop yourself from taking responsibility for your actions. And on the other hand, they're all behaviors that really turn people off and make people not even want to be associated with you. Again, bragging, making excuses, complaining, explaining yourself, and apologizing. That's all I got for y'all today. Stay beastly.